Brutal, brutal, brutal news on Wednesday morning. David Andrews is expected to miss the rest of the season as he is having shoulder surgery after leaving the game against the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday. Talk about an absolute dagger to the heart. The Patriots offensive line has already struggled, and then it becomes a little bit more thin, and now you're going to put the cherry on top, and you are going to lose your center, your captain, David Andrews. This is just absolutely devastating news, but I'm going to get you guys up to speed and talk about my thoughts and talk about everything that went into this process. But before I do that, I just want to send some love to the captain because you know he's been a leader on this team, on the field, off the field, and most importantly, I just want him to be okay. I know you guys do too. Go on ahead, hit that like button for me. Just show David Andrews some well wishes. This is obviously a huge blow, but this ultimately sounded like the best decision for the 32-year-old. And this is what Ian Rappaport had to tweet out, just stating that, look, Patriots center and captain David Andrews is expected to have surgery to repair a significant shoulder injury and will likely be placed on IR. Sources say one of the NFL's toughest players, and I love he said that, if Andrews could possibly go, he would, and it's just a brutal reality, but I loved how he followed this tweet up, right? Because it kind of shows the human side of it, that David Andrews is respected among all media, all players in the NFL, and it was a huge decision for David Andrews to make. He was teetering because he knew he had to get surgery, but he's like, can I wait until the end of the season? Ian Rappaport's tweet pretty much stated that he couldn't. He, as one closer observer noted, the heart and soul of the locker room, Andrews tried like crazy for different outcome. He went to specialists. He got second, third, fourth opinion saying, look, can I play? But will it make me have a longer recovery if I do injure it more? But it appears to be the only choice for the New England center. And that's what really hurts. He didn't want to stop playing. He wanted to be here to help this team because he has faith in this team. He is 32 years old. He's in his 10th NFL season, which is a key aspect to this injury because it makes you wonder, what will this recovery look for a 32-year-old? This is kind of that point in their time when they start to realize, hey, retirement may not sound that bad, but I'll get into that later. He dealt with a shoulder injury the entire 2021 season. Obviously, as a center, you're taking every single hit. He played 1,053 offensive snaps in 2023. I mean, this is a lot of hits to go up against a guy's nose tackle, to go up against guys' defensive ends. And just to put on the back half, although this isn't the main subject line, it does kind of hinder Drake Maye's starting point for the NFL season just because if you want to put him under Nick Leverett, that's okay, but you'd rather have him under David Andrews. But I just wanted to throw that out there because I know that a lot of us are waiting for Drake Maye to make his debut, and we want to see what the offensive line can do if they can protect Maye. But nonetheless, obviously, we're more focused on what is at hand right now, and that is David Andrews. And I'll bring it back to the 32 years old in the 10th season in the NFL. It does make you wonder just a little bit, have we seen David Andrews snap his last ball in New England? Obviously, none of us want that, but knowing that he was trying to get multiple outcomes, multiple opinions on this surgery, it does kind of lean me towards no, we have not seen him snap his last ball. And then knowing that sources have said that David Andrews, he does want to play in 2025, gives me a little bit more leniency of, all right, you know what? He tried to go every option, and it's the only option that made sense for himself and for his health, is to get surgery now and then be a leader on the sideline, which he can still do, and I still think he will be just as effective. But knowing that he wants to play in 2025 gives me hope that maybe we haven't seen the last of David Andrews. But nonetheless, I like to hear from when players are going through this because I can talk all day long, right? But you want to hear how David Andrews feels. And obviously, this is a huge letdown. He said being hurt is very frustrating, especially when you want to be out there playing as a player. Sometimes you have to make decisions if you being out there is the best thing for the team and if you can perform. I'm going to try to get better as quick as I can and see where things go or what has to go. I'm just trying to figure all that stuff out. And that just shows that he is just unreal. He is one of a kind in the NFL, and knowing that he made some great points there. You don't want to put a center that is beat up in this offensive line right now and knowing that he can't perform to his best. You don't want to let your team down. And I was just telling producer Cullen, who is a Bears fan, that I had to, Seattle Seahawks fan, that I want to reiterate that if we had to lose a center, I do like Nick Leverett. He is not as great as David Andrews, obviously, but out of all the offensive line and the injuries that we have had, Nick Leverett gives me the most hope that he can step in and do his job because there have been several injuries that have plagued this offensive line. And I'm very glad that we have a backup center that has already been in last game, and he's not as good, but he's not terrible. Because we have gone down to the bottom of the depth chart when it comes to left tackle. Chuck Okorafor, he quit. Caden Wallace, he has a knee injury. Verdarian Lowe, he has a knee injury. Now we're on Demontre Jacobs at your left tackle position. Plus, you got Mike Nwinu on the right side with a wrist injury. You got Michael Jordan at your left guard with an ankle injury. I mean, it's just a domino effect for this offensive line. So my last question here for you guys before I hop into some other injury news that I need you guys to hear, so stick around for that, is give me your one-word reaction to the David Andrews news. Mine is brutal. Just brutal. You hate to see it for a captain. More importantly, you hate to see it for the struggling offensive line and this Patriots team. So let me know your one-word reaction down below. Up next, I've got some very important news on a safety, Kyle Dugger, a newly appointed captain. The Patriots may have just gotten another big blow. But we're going to talk about that in just one moment. I want to let you guys know real quick about our sponsor here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports, the ones who make this show possible, Game Time. Game Time is the only place that I go and get tickets. And I'm being 110% serious. When I went in August to see Zach Bryan in concert at AT&T Stadium, I got my boyfriend these tickets for his birthday. We had beautiful lower level tickets. And he looked at me and said, Allie, these are great tickets, but I'm so sorry you spent so much money on them. I said, I did not. With Game Time, I always get the lowest price guaranteed. And I got to see my seats for the Zach Bryan concert before I even got to buy them, so I made sure I would like them and he would like them because you get a panoramic view from your seat before you purchase the tickets. But this happens for everybody, right? And with a new feature called Game Time Picks, that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out through all the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands and thousands of tickets. And hey, look, I'm a cheap girl. I know it sounds crazy to say that, but I love a good discount. I love a good deal. And that's what you're getting on Game Time all the time. Not to mention, with the lowest price guaranteed and Game Time ticket coverage, they're also going to give you your all-in pricing. So they're going to show you the total up front. No surprise fees at checkout. If you guys want to go see the Dolphins at New England this Sunday, go on ahead, download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. Back into the other injury news here. Safety Kyle Dugger will likely miss time. But, a big fat but, he has dodged a bullet when it comes to a major injury. The football gods were looking over the Patriots with this one. We lost David Andrews, but we will have Kyle Dugger missing a huge major injury that could possibly keep him out for a lot longer. And just to recap, Dugger also left on Sunday in the San Francisco 49ers game with an ankle injury. He was carted off the field, and obviously this was extremely frustrating for him because he was just appointed a captain once we lost linebacker Jawan Bentley. So knowing that Kyle Dugger will miss time, brutal. But knowing that we will get him back at some point, not brutal. Just to recap what's going on here is that reports do show that Dugger is kind of doing something similar to David Andrews, but not necessarily around the surgery point. He is gathering information and getting opinions on the injury just to really gauge the timeline because, you know, ankles are just a fickle bitch and you have no idea if what's going on down there. I swear everybody's got an ankle injury and I don't even play a sport. So you kind of have to take it injury by injury. But he's getting second opinions on when he can come back, and he is expected to miss some time. We don't know how much time just yet, but I'll take some time over the rest of the time. And, Jalen Hawkins has really been surprising me. Once again, it's kind of the Nick Leverett situation. They do not compare to Duggar. They do not compare to David Andrews. But with the situation at hand, I'm actually okay with Jalen Hawkins. I thought he's been very ball dominant. I think he has just been headhunting, and he has nearly snagged an interception so far this season. And paired up with Jabril Peppers, it could be a good combo. But let's hear what Jabril Peppers has to say, because obviously Kyle Duggar, being his right-hand man, saying it's definitely tough, man. That's one of our best players. He is one of our best communicators. When Juwan Bentley went down, Kyle Duggar took over the green light to be the defensive communicator, I should say. He's one of our best playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. That said, we got to step up. And that's good news and bad news, is that he will not be missing the rest of the season as of right now, but he will miss some time. So that's kind of the good and bad news. But knowing that you still have Jabril Peppers, who has just been unreal, knowing that Jalen Hawkins is going to step up is going to be huge. But you have got, I even watched this video. Are you guys not thinking the same thing I am right now of this team cannot catch a break? We're already in a rebuild year. We already knew we weren't going to win the Super Bowl. But did you have to throw all of our starters on the injury report? I mean, it's just a blow after a blow after a blow when it comes to injuries. But thankfully, Kyle Duggar expected to miss some time, but not the rest of the season. So one more time here before we head on out. Do you want Kyle Duggar back ASAP? Do we hope that he's going to go get a second opinion saying, hey, dude, you're actually okay to go back in like 2 weeks? That would be huge. Show Duggar some love. Show David Andrews some love. Hit that like button. And as always, subscribe.